the Brookhill podcast, where we talk about life, legacy, and leadership. Today, I am joined by three people. One you know all the time, Jason Ross. We won't talk about him. But we have his wife, Sydney Ross, and for the first time, so Sydney's first time, and for the first time, my wife, because no one knows who she is, because in 70 episodes, she has never appeared. The mythical figure that I talk about all the time in every episode. She doesn't listen, so she doesn't know.
She goes to another
That's not true.
She goes to another school.
Yes.
We get it.
This is Melissa. And yes, there we go.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Thank you.
And Melissa is also Hetty's granddaughter. But we're excited today because today's special podcast, we're going to talk about our newly launched women's retreat.
Yes.
That is going to be happening. She's going to tell us all about it. But if you were here this summer at camp, if your kids came to camp, you heard Sydney introduce herself. Jason introduced Sydney and her talk about the women's retreat all summer long. So that was exciting to talk about that.
Yeah.
Sydney, start us off. Tell us a little bit about the women's retreat. Obviously, Hetty used to do women's retreats here on the ranch.
Yep.
So just like we're continuing the Brookhill tradition,
Yes.
we want to continue the heart and the ministry of Hetty. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I don't know if you could, if anyone tried, if they could replicate
Right.
Hetty's events.
Right.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They were
Yeah.
they were very Hetty,
Very unique.
very unique. And so, but what we want to do is carry the heart of what she did. So we're bringing back women's ministry to the ranch, and we are so excited about it. We think it's going to be incredibly powerful. But one of the things that we understand is that people from all over for 65 years have been coming to the ranch to retreat,
Right.
to meet with God.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're not doing anything different than what we've been doing for
Right.
65
Right.
years. It's just now, again, we're centering it to women in this event. And so we're really excited to be bringing women's ministry back to the ranch, but
Right.
also to be carrying on that legacy just in a way that we feel like God has put in our hearts, called us to do. So what I said on Saturdays was we're just picking up that baton and we're running the race that God has called us to run. And it's going to be amazing.
That's so good. I love when you would speak on Saturdays, and I always thought we got a good response. I always thought the moms were like, yes, because that's what people always say is, when are you going to do something for us? Our kids
Yes.
have such a great time. But I like the point that you made because, one of the things alumni always say when they're talking about camp is they're like, so who does story time?
Right. Right.
And it's like,
Who could?
No, you can't.
No.
You cannot.
No.
There's some things you can't replicate.
No.
did you hear Hetty? Like,
Yes.
it's like, she would leave you on a cliffhanger.
Yes.
It's like, I can barely tell you a story of
No.
what happened when we were on the airplane the other day. And this,
Yeah.
and we saw it happen, and I can't tell you that story well enough,
No,
but
that was a gift.
Oh, and she off the
Yeah.
cuff. And all week long. Just
All week long.
Same story
Yeah.
all week long.
Yeah.
Is a gift.
Is a gift.
Is a gift.
And so, just like we've got the same Fun Connection Jesus that
Yeah.
Hetty had at Brookhill,
Right.
that is exactly the concept of the, not Fun Connection Jesus, but it's exactly the concept of the women's retreat is the heart and the
Yes.
vision of ministering to women. I mean,
Yes.
that's what Hetty, Hetty wasn't trying to do anything but be herself and minister to
Exactly.
women.
No, yeah.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to do. Like we're going to be ourselves,
Yep.
minister to women, but carry on that legacy that she left.
I love that.
So it's called a retreat. I guess for me, what's the difference between a retreat, conference, weekend, Brookhill Women's Weekend, Brookhill Women's Conference? What would be the difference? Why call it a retreat?
Great question.
That was one of my favorite. Like when we sat down and talked about, I think anything that we do, it's like, what's the point
Yes.
behind it? And I don't know, there has to be like, what's the intention and what's the point behind it? And is it just something where it's like, well, because we always have, so that's what we're doing now. I mean, that's not how we feel about camp. That's not how we feel about turkey. Like, none of the stuff that we do we do just because we always have. It's what is this year's message and what are we called? And who are the kids that are, that God's going to bring this year, and what is it that they need, from us and from our counselors and all that. So I loved that when the idea first started to kind of rumble around of, is this something we're interested in? Should we do? Is this what God's, speaking to us? The why behind it, and what is it, and what. And I remember, the four of us sitting down and just kind of saying, okay, why? Why have one? What is it? Yeah. What is it that we are going to offer by coming here that women are not already getting somewhere else? Yes. Because I personally don't know of a church right now that doesn't do a women's conference.
Right.
So we talked about, it's like if you're, in your church and plugged in, you most likely already go to a conference of some sort, And so it was like, then what is it that they need that we have to offer? That coming here, that the Lord can provide. And it was the retreat.
Yes.
It was the retreat. And I feel like even in the wording of it, because MIMS was seminars.
Yes. Right.
That's how she labeled it.
That's who she was.
That's who she was. I feel like churches now, it's conference, and that's usually kind of a one day. We're gonna have our women's conference on Saturday, the whatever, and it's almost like a Bible study kind of get together a little bit, for the weekend or whatever. And so it's like, what is it that's going to be different about this experience versus all these other experiences that are already tangible,
right.
And it was Brookhill. It was the land. It was the retreat. It was the getaway. And that definitely was Mim's vision.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, we remembered at her seminars, her being like, you're here, ladies. Don't go in town and don't go to shopping. Don't go don't go antiquing. Stay. She's like, once you're here, be here. And so it was we have Brookhill. We have this that we really feel like women need and that's why when we talked about it, retreat really sounded like the thing. It really sounded like, oh, that's it.
Yes.
The retreat of it, the getaway of it, the connection of it with other women that you just wouldn't necessarily have the time at a conference, a 1 or 1.5 day conference. Those are so edifying and uplifting, and man, they minister right to where 100%. And especially to your specific body of Christ,
Correct.
the body you are in, it's like, this is the word for that group of women. And I love that, and like, you get that. But what is it that they're going to come and unplug? And even if you're local, that it's that unplug, it's that come on to the ranch and have that experience.
I heard this quote from John Mark Comer. He said, sometimes you have to get out of your life to work on your life.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's great.
And
great.
Yeah.
it gives you, the retreat gives you perspective. The retreat gives you a different point of view on what your season of life is, what is your struggle, what are you working on, what are you doing, and it allows you. I mean, Jesus retreated. I mean, we have to step away sometimes to be able to work on our life, and Brookhill is a retreat. Yeah, it has been that for so many years and for so many people. So really, just even spiritually, the anointing on Brookhill, this is what we do best.
Yeah.
And
Well, you know what happens? I can't get away.
Yeah.
I can't, we convince ourselves I'm so busy and this and that.
Especially women, I think.
For sure.
Especially men.
Moms.
And,
yeah.
I mean, I can't
just
break
so
my
overworked
schedule.
and exhausted.
I can't break my schedule.
You've got tennis.
Right. We got to drop the kids off.
Yeah.
I got to cook the meal. You got things to do.
Yeah. One foot at home still keeps you in your flow.
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
But we convince ourselves that we can't. That's what we do. We convince ourselves that we can't. But once we do, we never regret it.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, it takes work.
Right.
I am prayerful that what we're putting together is going to be something worth the sacrifice, because the likelihood of it being a free weekend and you have nothing to do,
nothing going on.
I don't know that I know hardly any women who have that. It's like, what are the kids doing that weekend that you will have to miss? What is going on family? What is going on? And, whatever it is, your circle, that's like, I feel it's worth it. It's worth the effort, the getaway,
Yeah.
it takes effort, it takes sacrifice. And I'm just,
I feel like we're around the ranch so much. Like I forget, because I'll go out there and be like, man, gosh, we have such a beautiful place that we get to work in.
Yeah.
But people who've never been to the ranch before, or maybe haven't been in a while, there's such an ambiance, to being here, and there's such a serenity, I guess,
sure.
especially in the morning, like walking out to Devos and just like having, at Vespers overlooking the ranch. There's such a beauty in that, and so I forget that we did a tour just a couple days ago of some people that wanted to rent our facilities, and they were looking at it going, man, I could just sit here for hours. And I was like, and they weren't even talking spiritual. They were just looking out over the ranch.
Yeah.
They were just looking at it.
It is definitely holy ground, whether you know that or not.
Yes.
Whether that's your intention in coming or not. It's like, man, you get that, just that.
Yeah.
We had a youth retreat this last weekend that rented our facilities, and I had a kid come up to me and was like, man, this place. And we were just looking down Fun Swim Hill, and I was like, yeah, I know. And he goes, have you ever thought about putting a dirt bike ramp at the end of this hill?
What it really
Nailed
needs.
And I was like,
nailed it.
What? I tell
no,
you.
man, I haven't. I actually haven't
nailed
thought of
it.
that.
It's
That's what we
great.
got.
It's great.
That's
But
what we're
what would
missing.
elevate it?
That's what we're missing.
Sure haven't.
Yeah. Have you considered?
idea.
I love it.
Great idea.
Let me put
Didn't
a pin,
we have
I'm gonna put a
dirt
pin in
bikes
that one.
in the original? Like,
We
wasn't
did.
there-
Not
think
dirt
my-
bikes like people think of them, but yeah, that was what was in the old
Instead
Big
of
Lake.
like go-kart was like a
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. we have pictures of it.
Where,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Big Lake
Oh.
used to be,
Yeah.
that was the
Right.
dirt bike
It
track.
was a track.
I mean,
That's
Yeah.
funny.
they're the smaller dirt
Yeah,
backs
yeah, yeah.
with the bigger wheels
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, totally safe.
That's
Yeah.
What are you talking
Not
about?
an
The
insurance liability at
70s?
all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at
no
all.
way. I've
Yeah.
never heard
So
of
Such
you
a
should have
gr-
told him we actually.
Yeah.
We used
Yeah.
to.
Such
We'll
a
bring
great
it back.
idea that we
No
don't do it
idea.
anymore. It was one of
Such
those.
a great idea that we went
Yeah.
really far away.
But,
from
but it's so
no.
true. Jason's right. Like, the UPS driver will drive on and go, what do y'all do here?
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. It's a really peaceful place. And
Yeah.
that goes back to, when Hetty's dad said, I couldn't sell this spot. Something special. And he was not a spiritual man.
No.
And he
No.
said something special is supposed to happen here.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's cool. The Lord really has
Yeah.
set this place apart for stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, it's just the place where so many have met the Lord, have met
Yeah.
Jesus for the first
Yeah.
time, have had an experience with him that can't be taken away. And so for many, they come because it's a reminder to them of what happened, what God did in their life, how he met with them. And for many, I know with this retreat, for many who've maybe never been on the ranch before, that this will be the place where God meets them in a new way.
For sure.
And that's the experience that everybody has when they come here. They get an opportunity to meet with God in a unique way that marks them forever.
For sure. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and yet he meets you right where you need to be
Yes.
at every new season or
Yes.
whatever. He is going to meet them differently now than he did when they were a third grader on that hill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's the same coming home feeling. It's the same, spirit,
Yes.
it's the same Lord. It's that same feel, but yet in a new way or at a new time or in a new season. And that's cool. You know.
Which is what the alumni say. They're like, you guys have made changes, but it feels the same.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. Yeah.
And it's like, well, right, because a building is not a vision.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's just a building.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that, it still has the same feel. And I
No
love
more
it.
dirt bikes, but
No more dirt bikes.
same.
Tad bit more safety.
I mean, I think the women would appreciate a dirt bike ramp at the end
You
of
never know.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
Three summers in a row not taking kids to the hospital for anything,
that's
which is
awesome.
incredible. So
Yeah.
a lot more safety.
Yeah.
And so, but I think about the thousands of women
Yeah.
that have come across this place that
Yes.
Hetty ministered to. I mean, it was something like 3,000 to 4,000 women a year.
Right.
You know, and that, I mean, just you think about the generations that were affected.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you got here.
Yep, that is very,
Babe,
very
that's
true.
your origin
Oh, really?
story.
Yeah, my mom came to a women's retreat because, you know, Hetty used to go speak to churches, which
Yes.
totally would be cool, Sydney, for you to go. Let's get that back resurrected,
Let's just
too.
announce that here on the podcast.
You've heard it just out
Inquiries are
today.
open.
Yes.
Sydney Ross
Breaking news.
Get with my secretary.
is headed to a church near you, possibly
secretary.
yours, if you
She
call
would
and
burn the
ask
house
her.
down. Pretty good.
I love it.
And so, yeah, but that's what Hetty did. She traveled
Yeah.
and she spoke to churches. You know, mainly I think she was trying to get kids at camp.
Yes.
Right.
But I think she saw a need in that. You know how things start,
Yeah.
right? It's like, whoa, there's a need here.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I could bring ladies out here too, you know. And
Yes.
so she did that. And my mom was one that heard it, came out here. Hetty talked about camp.
Yep.
And my mom said, I got a kid. I was like in the second grade at the time. So,
No
yeah.
way.
Crazy?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
the
then
seeds planted
I got
so long
there,
ago.
you know, I was second or third grade. So then that next summer, because of course my mom was just blown away by Hetty, who
Yes.
could not be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, I want my kid to sit under that too. And so,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome.
the
That's
rest
crazy.
is history. And that's how the podcast started, just like that.
Just like that.
just
How it
like
was
that.
born.
Podcast came from the women's seminar. That's what we're saying.
Look at you now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at you now.
Me and Sydney were talking last night, and we were just talking about retreat, kind of what the ranch does, and we talked about camp. We talked about women's retreat. You know, some of the youth retreats that come out here, and you said something about people's yearning for connection. Is that what we were saying?
Yeah. Well, everybody needs connection, but
Yeah.
women specifically are just very connection based people. And there's men's conferences and retreats, and I think all of those are necessary, absolutely. But it's funny that women yearn for that in a little bit of a different way than men do. And it's funny too because I don't think the desire for connection with like women's connection has changed, but the landscape of it has changed. But our need for face-to-face connection, I don't think will ever change.
No.
You know
Sure.
what I mean?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you look at different generations of people. So I work in another office sometimes, and you'll see different generations where you'll have an older generation who only wants to go into the office to talk, to sign, to do. You know what I mean? To meet, whereas the younger generations, Gen Z, some millennials, they're text me. Don't I don't want to see you. Text me. It's easier.
Which
And
is
so,
it's crazy. It's like that is so foreign now. It's like, wait a second, you're just gonna show up to the office
and
building?
it is
You
strange.
can't just show up.
no
you know?
appointment. No, you
Yeah,
just want to come
yeah,
in.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but it's funny because. But we still need that face-to-face connection. And we've got, and I'm thankful, so much content online that is encouraging, will equip you, will help you, will stir your relationship with the Lord. And yet there's just a face-to-face stepping away from your life, like we were talking about, connection that everybody needs. But as women, we have to have. It just is a non-negotiable.
Well, when you think about it, we're talking about face to face with the people here. You know, bring your daughter, your adult daughter, bring your sister, bring your mother, bring your
Yes.
best friend, bring your Bible study group, whatever it is. And it's like, and get away with those people and have that face to face. Come by yourself and meet interesting women sitting around you and, make new friends and that sort of thing and that type of face to face. But then there really is also the unplug and get face to face with the Lord,
Yes.
and that's what can be provided here.
Right.
Obviously, He's everywhere. He's in your house
He's
too.
everywhere. He's
He
all
can
over,
meet you,
yes.
but it's a little bit hard, more difficult to find him maybe in the mundane and like laundry and school lunches and things. But what we're saying is get away and get face to face with what he's got for you, the word he has with him, with each other. And so that the whole unplug concept is still there.
Yeah, I think it's true. I think today is probably more important to retreat than ever before.
Yes.
100%.
Because of the phones, right?
Right.
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
and listen, memes and a great reel on Instagram.
That's your jam.
There's
babe.
nothing greater,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh,
I found a new thing that I followed yesterday. Funniest, I think I went down 50 of them,
Yeah.
and I dished them out to the right. You know,
wow.
I am very good at finding the right people that need them.
I hear the laughter and then this one's going to.
This one's
and
going
you hear
to
the
Kevin.
This one's going to Kevin.
Yeah, this one's going to Tim.
This one's going to
It's not
Tim.
going to Jason because Jason
Hang on.
is too
Hang on.
holy
Wait,
for
wait,
Instagram.
wait.
We just had a conversation about
and
this.
so he needs to get saved.
This is fascinating. This is a great conversation
This
to start.
is. This is.
So we were just talking about this because I went a year because I was like, let me see what it's like. Let me just compare, contrast. Let's just let me just be better than everybody. So
Totally.
that was what it was.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about.
That no one wants to be your friend anymore.
That's
now.
right.
Right.
That's right.
You pushed away as many
I will
people.
say, the social construct of social media has become so vast that if you're not on social media, it can definitely affect the way that you keep up with current trends and events and
Yes.
things that are happening.
Yeah.
You know, I had this whole last year, I had to learn about things through
Yeah.
Sydney.
Yeah.
You know, or hey, did you hear so and so is having a baby? Not that
Yeah.
I would care anyway, but no.
Right.
You know, but like, you know, did you hear about this major political thing that happened?
Yeah.
I try to
World
get the news
event.
on my phone, but like, you know, maybe I just don't, you know. So there are social parts. So I have downloaded Instagram again.
What?
I know.
What?
Listen,
Breaking
I don't,
news from
I
the
don't,
Rosses.
I know. I don't want to be. I
mean-
don't want to be like guy that compromises, but
Jason
I'm here.
Ross, 1932, because that's when you were born. 'Cause that's how much you know.
But we're also talking about like what what it all can be used for. This led to a fascinating conversation because
Yes.
it's exactly what you're saying. You know, I was asking, you know, what generations are linked with what social medias. So like, you know, because like right now, you know, it's maybe TikTok, X. I don't know what people are in because again, I've been a little out, but like, you know, there's
young
for
one.
sure a generation that's like Facebook. I'm a Facebook girl, and this is who I am.
That's your people. You need to stick with that, Jay. That's your people.
Well, the younger people today would be like, "Who are you? What are you, a psycho? Facebook? What is that?"
Yeah.
You know, like what? So, in your opinion, what generations might be linked with what social media is? I had AOL dial-up internet
Yeah.
before,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so maybe
For sure,
I
Gen,
am.
for sure, Gen X and Boomers are on Facebook.
Yes.
Millennials are on Instagram. Gen Z's on the TikTok.
yeah.
X is just this random
like a
newscape.
free-for-all.
It's a free for all. Yeah, it's usually people that want to be, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I use X maybe to go look for news. But I don't feel like it's generational. It's just kind of weird. But yeah, that's kind of the triple breakdown. But my
Yeah.
point with the memeage is going
let's
back.
get back.
Going
Sorry, let's get back to your memes.
Yes.
Sending
Sorry.
my
Jason.
friend text. It's still not connection, right?
Yes.
It's
No.
not connection.
No.
And it's until we get because it was a really funny point that I was making because it's funny, but I had a spiritual point, and it's the fact that it's still when you get together with your friends, it's way better than
It's
sitting on the text.
conversation,
Yes.
not connection.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
keeping the conversation going. I saw this that was funny, and
Yeah.
you kind of can keep that conversation with someone that's in your life and that you love dearly. But the connection of
everything.
yeah.
And it always has
I
been.
mean, Rachel and Kevin, when we talk to them almost daily through Polo or through memes or however you connect. But when we get away with
Yes.
it, you know, when we
Yes.
spend those weekends with them, that it's like, that was
Yes.
was rejuvenating. You know,
Right.
that was life giving in the friendship.
And if we could like psychoanalyze it real quick,
Let's.
I would think it's because you can send perfection over a meme or a text, right? But when you're in person, you can't hide.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a little bit
Right?
of a let's be real.
Yeah.
You can't hide.
You can't hide.
And so
Yes.
at a retreat, I think I think ultimately we want to be real.
We
I
want
think
to
we
be
do.
real. We want to be. There's probably a better word.
Yeah.
We want to be noticed.
Yep.
Seen.
We want to be seen. We want to
Yeah.
be. We want people to see where we are and who we are, and it's so true. I've got a group of friends, and we're very close, but we're all busy, jobs and kids and
Yeah.
all the things, and we talk all the time.
Right.
We talk all the time. but we try every so often to get sitters or do whatever and go out to eat together.
Right.
And we sit together and we talk and we're like, I've talked to you 3 times a week for the last 3 months, but we've not all gotten together. And I didn't know. I didn't know that you were dealing with that. I didn't know that you were thinking about a new job. I didn't know that. And when you get together face to face,
for
you're
sure.
so right.
Well, it's also just the visual. I see you, like,
yes.
oh, you don't look, like, is everything okay? It's almost like when a mother can literally look across and be like, my child is sick.
Yes.
Like, your eyes are glassy. You don't have, it's like you see those things. And when you're in that in person with someone, and even again with the Lord, like, I'm here, Lord, to be vulnerable with you. It's like I'm stopping all the busy work.
Yes.
That can kind of hide me from the
cloud-
Lord. Now, can we ever really hide from the Lord? No,
Cloud
but
your thoughts and your mindset and
yeah. But the whole getaway that I'm here in person with this group of women, maybe, or
by
with the
by
I'm
yourself.
here to be
Yes.
completely seen by the Lord,
Yes.
and where I'm at and what I'm going through and all that, to just really open up in that way is needed.
Yes.
In business, we talk about you're working in the business or on the business.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you're working in the business the day to day, you're not really working on the business. And I think life is the same way. When you're working in life, you're not working on life.
Ooh, that's
Right.
good. Yeah.
And so because the day to day doesn't allow you, because when you're in the day to day, you get clouded.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
you do.
For sure.
You don't see the big picture.
No.
Because you're in the weeds.
And you're bogged
Yes.
down.
Yes.
You're just trying to put one foot in front of the other.
And sometimes you can get away
yeah.
and you go, why am I frustrated about,
Yes.
why am I
Yeah.
frustrated at
Right.
my,
Yes.
well, I don't get frustrated at my wife, but why would my wife be frustrated with me? I mean, I just see
No
her
reason.
perfectly
Yeah.
how Jesus does. And so, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It reframes your mindset and reframes what you're carrying.
Yeah.
And you
see it different.
You see it different, and we need that. We get bogged down. We're grinding, getting the kids to school. We're getting to work. We're working. We've got responsibilities. We're coming home and we're eating dinner, and all of those are wonderful things, things that have to happen. But there's so much nuance in life. I mean, one conversation sparked something in you that
Right.
bothered you, but now that's festering, and now that has clouded your judgment when you're speaking with your kids, and when you're talking to your husband, or when you're talking with a friend, and and these are the things that stack. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They stack. So when you can step away, you reframe your mindset about why do I do the things I do? Do I have habits that I've formed that I need to let go of? And not to get into what we're actually going to be discussing at the retreat, but just in this season, Lord, what do you have for me?
Right.
What do I need to say yes to? What do I need to say no to?
Right.
What do I need to start? What do I need to give up and let go
Yeah.
of?
Yeah.
And those are things you don't typically think to ask yourself or ask the Lord in your day to day, because you're doing the things. And so,
And we do let so many of those things stack up that then when you get away and kind of look at them, it's like, oh, that wasn't that big a deal.
It wasn't that big of a deal. Yes.
I'm totally like that reframed my whole way I thought about this person or this situation, and then it's like, oh, in the grand scheme of things, or in my life, or what the Lord has for me, or my purpose, it's like, oh man, I can really let that go. You know.
Well, things happen and we get down. We get dejected. Hetty was like a basketball coach, right? Where at the retreat, she was like, girls. She said girls. She always called everybody girls. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I coach girls basketball, and I would call a timeout. We'd be up 10, and the girls are all mad and dejected because a couple things went wrong.
a couple things happened.
And I had to point to the scoreboard and say, hey, we're winning.
We're good.
Yes.
And I think
Zoom
in
out.
life, you have to be reminded, you're winning. Jesus wins.
Yes.
We're winning.
Right.
You've got a great family. You've got a great this. You've got a great that. Now,
No big picture.
Let's
Yeah,
get our
for sure.
attitude to. I
Yes.
think Hetty was always an attitude adjuster.
Oh, for sure.
But it's that timeout
That's right.
that gets you out of the flow of the game
Yes.
to work on the game, then to get back in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
So
That's really good. I
Love it.
Well, the enemy wants to isolate you. I mean,
Oh,
so
for sure. Yeah.
isolate you in your thoughts. He comes in a thought.
that's everything.
Isolate you you can be surrounded by people and yet be isolated.
Oh, totally.
And so it's not even just being around people. Mm-hmm. It is that I'm moving away from my day to day for a short period of time to zoom out, to reframe. And so I'm not isolating myself from the Lord. I'm not isolating myself from people who will want to encourage me and help me and speak into my life. And
that's one cool thing that the ranch, again, the retreat thought of it,
yes,
is it is both, and it offers both. Come and stay on the ranch and stay in a bunkhouse and be with people. Eat at the table with people and stay in a bunkhouse with other women and sit next to them. Do activities. Yes, there will be activities. Do activities with other women. And then, if you need it, and if that's, go to Vespers.
Yes.
Be alone.
Yes.
Go on the hill. Go for a walk around the ranch.
Absolutely.
Have that unplug and isolation.
Yes.
With the Lord. And it's like that is what is really the beautiful thing. One of the beautiful things and cool things about what we're talking about. And the women's retreat whole idea is, we need face-to-face. We need connection. We need people. We need each other. We need other women of God in our lives. We need a tribe. We need that. Come and get that.
Yeah.
But then, man, I haven't been alone. I haven't had kids not around me. I'm at a basketball game every single night of the week. It's also the unplug and just you and him and have that time and hear the voice of the Lord and get that. So I think that's the beautiful part. Again, what are we offering? What is it that the Lord is saying? Open Brookhill Ranch for what? Two women for what purpose, and what do they need, and what are they going to receive that they're not getting? That we're offering, and that's it.
I have a question for y'all, if I can ask you both a question. So we're coming out of the season where we have little kids, right? And because I was thinking about what you said about, your life, you can get bogged down, things can get foggy. In your experience, now that you have kids who are out of the house, you're empty nesting it, and you're living the high life, of...
Love it.
David texts me all the time. He's like, me and my wife going on a date just because we can.
Yeah, doing what we want when we want.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
In y'all's... Even in this season, do you feel like you can get bogged down in every season? I mean, do you guys feel bogged down? I mean, obviously, does your focus shift in business and, the things of your life? What would you guys say?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different in every stage, right? You have the building stage and the whatever, but, what's next. And I think the scare is, who am I now, right? If I'm not busy, who am I now? Because I think even busy can be an identity.
Sure, absolutely. That's good.
And so, I think that's now. We're still in the sweet spot of our kid just moved out, so we're still celebrating
the honeymoon phase of.
We're still, we're in the honeymoon. We're still confetti everywhere, but I do see people that it's like, who am I now? What am I going to do now?
Or I thought I would be farther along.
Ooh.
I think that one, I was just talking to my friend this morning when I was getting ready and just saying, I vividly remember being 19, 20 years old, making no money, just poor, working so hard, all the things, and literally saying, out of my mouth saying, oh my gosh, I can't wait until I am, literally said, in my 40s and the kids are grown and we have money and we're we're not set where it's we're set, but just where life is so much easier and comfortable and all of this. And so it's wow, that came faster than than I thought it would. And here we are, and to fight, the bank account is still not what what I thought it would be, you know, or anything. The house, you know, the finishes in the house are still not the house I thought I would be living in.
Yeah, it's probably the battle of having arrived, but what's next?
Yeah.
That's probably the tension.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the enemy can get you. It doesn't matter what season of life you're in. There's schemes, you know, he can get it there. It's never, I mean, until heaven, you know, that's the fall, you know, is that it's never enough, you know, to find that place of contentment. Where you're still saying, okay, Lord, like I haven't stopped. I mean, Mim did not stop. Like the woman did not
94?
stop. 94 and was
94 years
still
old.
like, Lord, use me. And was being used by the
all
Lord
over the place.
daily.
She's crazy.
Yeah. And so to find that keeps you motivated, keeps you young, keeps you making an eternal difference, but not using that as like, I have to go, I have to work, I still haven't achieved, you know, I still haven't gotten to where I want to be. And it's like, what is it? You know, the balance of life, that tightrope that you're always on of like, man, we are experiencing so much freedom and so many blessings. And when we take a minute, perspective, and look back, it's like, oh my goodness. I mean,
look at the scoreboard. We're winning.
Yeah, how far we come, and we are winning and all that. But
I think that's really good. 'Cause you know, in our season, and I think what you said kind of alluded to this, but like, you know, when we first got married, we're like, okay, we're gonna have kids, we're gonna do the thing, but then it's like when our kids get to this age, we'll be good. And then, okay, well now when our kids get to this age, we'll be good. And then, okay, now our kids are out of the house, we're good. We're going to be good. And then, well, no, not yet, but like when we have this amount of money, we'll be good. And I feel like there's a constant, that's really good.
Well, that's earthly, but I mean, even in the spiritual term of like, man, I thought I would have made more of a difference before now, or I thought my ministry would be farther along by now, or, you know, I thought I would be to this level of influence or, you know, or whatever you can, it's just all of life where you look around and say, I thought there would be more, or I wanted more, or I was planning on more, you know, or whatever. And whether you're talking about your parenting or your finances or your marriage or, you know, whatever it is, it's like, it's never enough for then, I thought it would be better, or I thought it would be better, you know.
Yeah, but the arrival is not here on earth. And I think that's why we feel like we haven't arrived, because we haven't arrived, right? But like you're saying, hey, when my kids get to this, or hey, when my kids get out of the house, but you never arrive because God's got an assignment for you, you know? And so I think that's a good itch at the same time. We see it as a negative,
great.
right?
It's a journey.
That's the journey.
Yeah.
It's not the destination.
That's
The
why you're here.
destination's eternity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just am, and I guess what I was really getting at the end of that, it's just like, for me, there's never been a time in my life where maybe like a retreat was not
need.
You know,
Yeah,
because
say,
to
I'm
get
good,
away,
I don't need that. Yeah,
to get away and do that. You know, I went to a men's thing just a month ago. And it's in the middle of Mississippi, out in the middle of the woods. There's not a lot of cell phone service at all. You're sleeping in horrible beds. Might as well sleep on this table. But it's just getting away is so powerful because, you know, and I prefer no cell phone service. That's great. Gosh, if you can leave your cell phone at home, I mean, do it. Because
then you're not getting all those
you're not getting
TikTok notifications.
Texts, you're not on your social media. Just dedicating time to the Lord. And I will say, I have found that the Lord honors time, you know, a lot, because time is, you know, you can give your money and you can also get money back. But giving your time is something that you can't get back.
It is sacrifice.
And if God views your life as a vapor in the wind, He already sees that you only have a little bit. And so the fact that you would give a little bit, He responds so heavily to that.
Yeah, I love
that.
that.
That's really good.
So when is this thing? And when can you sign up? When does that open?
So sign-ups will start October 13th.
Ooh. All right.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
The whole event is April 10th through 12th of 2026. Okay. So it will be a Friday through Sunday. It will be a whole weekend, but it will give everyone enough time to be able to get home and get where they need to be. So it's doable for women and all seasons of life. And so, but it's going to be really powerful. The food's going to be amazing. Just if you're worried about that, going to be incredible. It's going to be fun. We're going to have we're going to have specific activities open and some that are new that we're very excited about.
Love it.
And so it will be fun. It will be impactful. The speakers that we have coming are incredible, so wise, but again, in different seasons of life. So really, this is not just for one age group.
No, yeah.
This is for 18 and up. Please come. This is you have something to give and you have something to receive, and we can all learn from each other. And so, however many you want to bring with you, bring as many as you want.
For sure.
Yeah,
Great.
It's exciting.
I love it. Can't wait. All right.
it's gonna be
Coming
good.
soon.
be good.
Can't wait.
Sign
The
up.
Brookhill Podcast, Life, Legacy, and Leadership. Today talking about our women's retreat. Can't wait. Thanks for being here.